Hi, my name is Doreen Tuhidire, coming to you from Be Money Wiser, and we're going to be bringing to you the hashtag 100 Ways to Be Money Wiser by Mrs. T. Tilda Nabandra. We're going to be running this hashtag 100 Ways to Be Money Wiser on U24 television. Don't miss out.
U24.
Youth of Purpose.
Good evening from wherever you're watching from, and of course this is U24 television. My name is Cheslin Ankonda. We are right here on Youth of Purpose. That happens every Wednesday at 9 p.m. and today we're going to be discussing something that I think we have discussed several times, but I feel like we are in its winding stages, and that is the election aftermath, or what next after elections. And of course, I have been following different conversations, young people informing us how elections are done, what next, those that have been surviving and squeezing candidates, how are you going to be able to push through? And now the realities are back for us. So we shall be able to discuss what ways forward, but also what realities do we expect if you have supported someone, and also what expectations do you have from them. And I am not alone in studios. Of course, I do have a team of 3 gentlemen, and I do have Augustine with me here, who is a youth leader. I equally have Wycliffe, who is a former member of parliament contestant for Buhweju West constituency. It is very amazing to have you on the show, but also seeing young people taking on constituency seats is very promising. We have over time talked about why are young people stuck in youth structures. And I think when we have such young people who are deliberate on taking on those big steps, it is hope for the future, but also speaks volume to the young people that we actually are the majority and we should support ourselves. Let me allow them do an introduction for themselves, and then we shall get started. I'll start with you, Augustine. Say hello to our viewers and let them know how you are.
Okay, thank you, Traslyn, and good evening, viewers. I hope we have a very wonderful conversation. For me, it is my maiden show here, and I hope we will be able to discuss and dissect youth issues very properly, especially with the national perspective. Thank you.
Interesting. Thank you so much, Augustine, for joining us. Next to Augustine is Wycliffe. Wycliffe, say hello to our viewers.
Thank you, Madam Tresseline, and my elder brother, Mr. Augustine. Hello, viewers outside there. Here is to me, Mr. Wycliffe, and the stage name is Honorable Wick, son of a peasant.
Yes.
And as she said, I'm a former member of parliament aspirant for Buhweju West constituency. And now that I did political science, I think this is my right show. And I have experience so far, however much I look young, but I've tested and I know how people can appoint, disappoint, approve, disapprove.
Yes.
Thank you so much for seeing us.
Why the name son of a peasant? Maybe if you could interest us.
You see, that name, I brought it when I had joined Chambogo University. And the reason why I came with that name, I saw the game I was going in for. Many people who were going to second me behind were from peasant background.
Oh.
So, and when I said, I'm yours, now people started supporting from day one. And I can surely tell you, I started winning from year 1, year 2 I won, and in year 3. So it made me what I am. That's why I still love it. Thank you so much.
Interesting. Which means Buhweju people are the ones that have not embraced the peasants.
Yes, I think, but they will later understand.
Yes.
Maybe they are not peasants.
I don't know if they're not peasants. But let's get to the conversation. And I think I should start with you, Wycliffe, especially from a perspective that as a young person, you actively participated. You ran a race, and actually a whole constituency race. Yes. How was it like for you? What are there some things that were interesting, and especially also transitioning from university politics straight to the constituency as a young person? What did it mean to you?
Thank you so much once again. As you've guided and as you've asked, you see, for us we are used of institutional leadership. You do mobilization, you go to the Guild House, But the other side, it's a different story.
Yes.
Because these people of ours, especially from deep villages where we do come from, they ask, where are you coming from? What have you done on the ground? Number two, what do you have in the pockets?
Yes.
So for me, I came up with the ideas, basically, and I was ranked as one of the best speakers when it comes to, because we were Surrey, running for Member of Parliament aspirant, that was NRM ticket, and I was ranked as the best. And the reason is, for me, I had ideas, what I could see and what I could know that it can transform my society. Because when I was still at a university... Are you
saying your opponents didn't have ideas?
No,
or?
they had ideas, but basically mine was, they were touching.
Okay.
They were touching and they were aiming at sustainable growth, and especially for the youth. Because when I was still at a university, I was the president of Buhweji University Students Association, and I had done recommendable achievements, going to the schools, counseling and mentorship. I could tell my brothers and my sisters that you can do better. You can study from a UPE school and you do better. To me, I thought that what I was spreading, it would make me become what I wanted to be.
Yes.
And I did it because I could go as a lawyer, I could go as a doctor, I could go as an engineer, and we've done a great work. So when I now said I'm now going to run for Member of Parliament, many people supported me, and that's why I want to say thank you for the people of Buhweji to receive me, and they supported me overwhelmingly. And I know, because for me, the people of Buhweji, they said, we are putting you in a pipeline. Soon we are going to make you. So me now, there are things that they said you first get, and I'm now looking for them. And next time,
what are the things?
I will tell them later after hear the show. But leaving other matters constant, when you go out, it's good we other friends of mine who are participating basically in institution and national leadership go to the villages because you understand the nature of the people, how they live. You see the challenges these people face. For example, there is a village called Katinda. It is in Nyachana sub-county. You find we are having children, I call them, over which name, they are 14 years, they are impregnated. And these are the issues we have to address.
Yes.
So as a member of parliament, don't sit in Kampala and say, for us what we have to do is to give laptops. Because if you take them to my people, some of them, they are not elites. They don't know how to use them.
Yes.
But for me, when I went there, first I identified the problems and the challenges of my people. And it gave me time to look for the possible solutions to these challenges. Number two, I created bigger networks of senior stakeholders on a village level. Not these ones here on the media. No, we are having senior stakeholders in the villages where we are having chairpersons of LOC1, where we are having church leaders, and these people are the ones who have the say, and they are the decision makers. So to me, I got friends. Yes. I got friends from that network, and now when I go, it is very easier for me to connect with someone on this church, to connect someone from this mosque, and they mention me. They say, no, they do it in this way. Next time you adjust and put this one in your agenda, and I think it's good.
Yes.
Then the third one, if you go there, you also learn the values and the norms of the society.
Yes.
Because when you are here, we look at something in general. But when you go to the village, you see what do they respect. For example, if they are to greet, what do they do? Before you give, there is someone who challenged me and was like, big man, yes, you are from a university, you've been a president, you are here, you've been a guild leader, now you are coming as a member of parliament, but where is the wife? I didn't know that it is considered.
Let's pause it right there.
Otherwise, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for sharing your experience. I think it's so much that young people actually have to go through, and starting from where you're actually saying, where is the wife? If you are a lady, they will ask you, where is the man? Whom have you come with? We are not seeing you. So
I think that's my brother after Mana. He's waiting. First get someone, then he goes to sorrow.
Okay, interesting. Let me get to you, Augustine, before I get to Afashimana. Yes. From your perspective, how was it like? Did you contest or did you support candidates? And what was the experience like? Maybe if you followed online?
Yes, for me, my participation in the in these elections was basically mentorship, providing the direction for young people to actually, and mobilizing young people to go out there and contest for these offices and actually get to win them. You realize that most of our young people actually did not know procedures of how do I get into the National Youth Council, for example.
Yes.
So mine was to devote my time, resources, and energy into telling them, look, this is what you can be, this is what the society needs, and we need to just take up some of these places. Some of them successfully ran for Member of Parliament, some remained in the youth structures, and some were successful, some did not, for reasons that Wycliffe has shared already. It is important to note that actually after his submission, I think Uganda looks similar far and wide. What Wycliffe went through is what other young people out there are speaking, especially about mainstream politics, away from just the youth structure elections. Yeah.
Yes. Interesting. Hafashimana, you're welcome. Introduce yourself and then we get you started to next question.
Thank you, Comrade Ankunda. Dear viewers, I am Hafashimana Asimwe, and by hard work and sacrifice, but also passion, I'm the chairperson for the Youth Council of the Young People for Chisoro. And I'm glad to be hosted back at this channel, this TV station, and it's an honor to share my views, especially on what next now that the electioneering time is done, but also the campaign politicking is also done. So what lies in for the young people beyond just casting a vote for a candidate. So I will be glad to definitely share my views as usual.
Interesting. When you add the part of hard work and God's grace, when people are in elections, everyone puts in the hard work. Maybe it might not as much as be as equivalent as the other, but we know there are also leaders who are leaders by the grace of money.
Yeah.
So when you say you are as a result of hard work, we say thank you to God for that. Maybe now Wycliffe was from telling us his experience, especially as a young person running in mainstream politics, transitioning direct from university, the challenges that he faced, but also the beauty and also the love that he shared with people. Just in a few seconds or in a few minutes, your experience and how was it like as a young person who left Kampala and went to Kisoro to campaign to be the district youth chairperson, and the hard work?
Thank you. To correct you, I didn't leave Kampala to go to Kisoro. I have been in Kisoro to really be there with our young generation.
Yes.
And to just discuss entirely on the point of the hard work, then of course the idea or the monetization of politics. I think at the end of the day it goes back to the historical days, the early church.
Yes.
And when you go to the Bible, especially I think in the Old Testament, there is the parable of the sower. But also you have heard of the talents. And I want to say that usually hard work beats talent if talent doesn't work hard. So you can have the money, but you don't know how to use it. But also, if you know that there is something special in you, the hidden potential, the untapped potential, the uncovered potential that you should be able to unravel, then there you are good to go. But also, the teams. The fact is that this campaign time, especially for the young people, we began it around May last year by the Youth League, the National Resistance Movement, Youth League and other youth leagues in other political parties. And if as far as I'm concerned from the NRM, given that I'm a member, for the fact I'm the chairman for the NRM Youth League of my sub-county in Kisoro, Nyakabande. And I remember a case scenario whereby I had a competitor for secretary for publicity, I think at my parish of Gisorora. And I can tell you it was not an easy election. I had to pass the city, the parish members. My parish has around 12 villages. So by the time it was successful to ensure that I convinced that one person to ensure that they supported me to get one vote so that I can win over my opponent. It was not easy either, by the way. So when you talk about hard work, talent, then about monetization of politics, the people have lost even when they had the money. I remember in 2020, 2021, when I was running for UNSA, the National Executive Committee, I had people who had money in that contestation, but they didn't make it. But I think it goes back to how you build up the team. Comrade Wycliffe, who found me in Chambogo about now 4 years ago, by the time he came to Chambogo, he's aware that people were used to build teams through political party structures, their chapters in my universities. The NRM Chambogo chapter, those of UID, of course the NUP and all of that. So usually such teams build up who is supposed to win. And a case reference at my district level, I remember by the time I was able to, garner support from the 3-3 of every sub-county, it took us time to coax them, but also to give them reasons as to why it is important for us to represent the interest of the young people in the youth council of Kisoro. I could recall the time we got around 10 of us on motorcycles. Those are about motorcycles, and each of the motorcycle was carrying 2 people to go to certain home to simply ask for 1 vote. And that could express why began by the point of hard work. But also that in the Bible, the men or the people that were given different talents, the way they used them depend on who or what they had harvested at the end of the time.
Yes.
So I think at the end of the day, whereas we believe in teamwork, it depends on which team are you building, what trust do you have in the team, and how do you believe in each other. So cutting a long story short, or without any further ado, as far as that question is concerned, I want to believe that whereas the contestation had begun from the NRM Youth League structures, I remember at the time we were in Korora, I remember we came here dared to share the same ideas on how young people would be able to benefit from the candidates. And like I've been sharing with those of Comrade Wycliffe and Augustine, who happens to be a new comrade, especially in my circles, I want to believe that beyond politicking, there should be life to harness to harness potential, to discover what is needed within us, because 5 years later we shall demand accountability. And accountability won't just be because we voted an MOP. Accountability will also be because you were voted for and never went through. So even when today you might have seen a tweet, I think from the then from the outgoing Rodi Mayor Deputy,
Yes.
the her worship Nyanjura Doreen. Her tweet was so mesmerizing to the fact that she believes people normally look for others because they already have position, they have won. Now those that have not won, what else? For example, if this is a democracy, you are aware happen to be the second president of the UDA, the Uganda Girls Academy, where we had those of the host, Comrade Nkunda, be part. And we believe that the UDA or the UDA fellows, we believe that whereas we are trained to become leaders, we are demanding accountability, not because of the positions we hold, but because of who we live in our real life. So whereas democracy defines that the best or the person with the majority takes on, but they also interest of the minority. So who shall represent the interest of the minority? And I think going back to the National Youth Council, we believe that some of us who contested and we were given a chance to lead from influence point of view. That's John Maxwell. He says that leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. And we are moving on forward.
Interesting. Let me cut you short right there. I'll get back to you. As we get to the part of expectations, now that elections have come to an end, I saw something on a friend of mine's status, Dr. Nancha Esther, which people have shared often on very many statuses again. And it says, yes, we know you spent sleepless nights, you have skipped lunch, busy, wholeheartedly supporting, well done. You feel like you have won too. Yes, but it's not your win. That person might support your opponent who has been fighting them. One who has not gone miles for them in the next election. Don't be shocked. So, don't expect too much. If they pay you well, thank God. Now, this to me, when I read it, I thought like, how do we put this into the reality? And these things do happen. These things do happen because equally, I think that is why many people were restatusing and sharing the same. Expectations, when we are campaigning, and Mr. Wycliffe here talked about ideas. When we are campaigning in these elections, we all seem to sell ideas. But what happens when we get there? If a Wycliffe here had gone through, would we have expected something different than if your opponent, the one that went through? But also, in your perspective as a young person who went through the mainstream structures, what are the expectations in the next 5 years, or even the first 100 days?
Thank you so much. moderator, and my brother Comrade Hafashimana. And I will strictly go to what you've asked. You see, as I've told you, when it comes to national and when it comes to ground, it's a different story.
Yes.
You go expecting a lot, knowing that you've gone with small money, you have a small budget, you know that you are young, you are fresh, you're energetic. The way you used to do at a university that you reach there.
Did you do it in the village?
I did way. Everyone could say, hey, yes, I did way. But as you said, when it comes to where we do come from, because we have different setups, and especially for the societies where we live. But my society, basically, because all of us, we had ideas. And on top of ideas, you should be having something accompanying these ideas.
Yes.
Yes, you cannot say, yes, me, when you vote me into power, I'll make sure that I do this and this. I'll make sure. Because me, one of the reasons that made me to go to my constituency was one. My people, they are tea packers. They have large plantations of tea. And the tea price, because of fluctuation of prices, it decreased from 600 to 200. And someone packing it is getting 100.
Yes.
It means as a farmer, you've remained with 100. When you deduct the fertilizer and you deduct Roundup and some small ditches, it means you are operating at a loss. And you are having someone you are paying for a school fees at Chambog or Makerere. So what was my idea? I could tell these parents of mine and brothers and sisters, look, we can go and make a tea policy whereby we can pack well, we take the tea in a clean area, in Runyankore we call them eberogotero. And then you transport it very well to the market centers. Then you get, because when you compare the tea price in Rwanda and Kenya, it was totally different compared to the one in Uganda. So to me, I was like, maybe our leader is not giving a voice.
Yes.
And that's why, but whenever I could tell these people, they could say, what this man is saying is right. But I think there is something.
They are not hearing well.
Yes, whenever you give ideas, you see people clap. The man has ideas, sure. Because I could say education is what will make a poor man sit on the same table with a son of the rich person. And they could say, it's very true. I could say, go to the school you can afford and make sure they could clap hands, they could dance. But at the end of the day, whenever you are leaving and you are concluding the speech, they say, So to me, I think as we say, let's go to the mainstream politics. We should be having something accompanying us. But what I'm worried of, when you reach there, now you start going to first pay back these debts. Because someone goes, gets a loan, and injects in you. Because whenever you say, we are thirsty, we need hope. We need hope. Someone gives you something. And at the end of the day, when this man is entrusted with power, he is going to first do where he got that money. And now you will come later. But look, to me, I think now that the level of the elites, it's increasing, these people could understand. But I also want to urge these people who come from villages and they reach in Kampala and Mbarara, Arua, Guru City, they don't want to go to the villages. They say, we are with you. Yeah, we are going to support you. Yes, you are our man. Like how Mr. Nsimabi was saying. But these people don't go to vote. So what am I trying to say? If we are saying we are the youth and we know what is taking place, as Comrade Mr. Fashimana said, we know where we are having loopholes as the youth because we've studied. Number two, we know for a country from one level to another level of take-off stage, what this country needed to do. Let's go to the ground. Tell these people that if we support this kind of a person, we are going to achieve A, B, and C. But if we go in this monetization of politics, whereby I'm going to give you 1,000, you give me your vote, it means I'm going to go and I first get this money, I pay someone who gave me this money, and it's not going to benefit our society. But at the end of the day, we still have a role of accountability. We must hold these people accountable. Yes, we have given you the support, we have entrusted you with the support. What have you done on the ground?
Okay,
Number
let me cut you short there. I'll get back to you. Let me first
Thank you
get
so
to
much.
Augustine. Wycliffe portrays an election where he puts or suggests that people who are hungry will not vote for you. People would love to eat first. Augustine, the kind of money that was spent in these elections and also the kind of stress that delegates, voters have to put on a candidate. When you vote for 1 million, when you vote for 500,000, when you vote for 100,000, do you think there is a nexus that you have actually lost your right to accountability? Because how then do you expect this person that you're getting money from to hold them accountable?
First of all, I think that Wycliffe's story is one from an experience point of view.
Yes.
But you see, whereas you point out these people that have voted for 100,000, there are those that have voted for just one matchbox. There are those that voted for a piece of soap. There are those who voted for 500 shillings, 1,000 shillings. So Waraji, yes. I think that at the end of the day, if anybody gave you something in exchange of your vote, you actually don't qualify to ask for accountability, because both of you are guilty in this serious crime of voter bribery, and so you cannot ask for accountability. But a wider perspective is that this has not started today. Yes. Ideally, to run, and what Wycliffe shares is from a candidate's perspective on what he saw on ground. Now, there are those that bought votes, not even votes, bought DR forms at the Tally Center.
Yes.
So you ideally know that I did not go through this election. People didn't vote for me, but I am in position of DR form, and so I was declared winner. So at the end of the day, these people do not have anything to tell you. They cannot even ask you for, you can't account to them, much as they also cannot recall you, because they are too by the time they get to get back to their feet, 5 years are already done.
Yes.
Their stories, you see that parliament is too sweet to the extent that on the first day, when you give your account, you get a lot of money. So people now are going into transactional politics as opposed to politics of the Wycliffes, of ideology, of, you see, I have this, I want to solve your problems. And that is not just in Uganda. That case is not for Uganda. A professor, P.L. Olumumba, contested in Kenya. Very brilliant ideas, he says. Voters appreciated his very brilliant ideas, but at the end of the day, voted for somebody that gave them money. So I think going forward, we might need a national, guidance program, a civic education program that will try to transform the minds of voters and their mindset to understand that, look, whereas this person has given you money, if he's not the best candidate in terms of understanding the scope of your challenges and providing solutions, viable solutions to this, don't go for him. For now, it looks like that is where we are. And that is because also politics is now a do or die. People spend a lot of money. You see, if you wanted to become an MP, even Wycliffe here knows, and went to the village, if you don't have about 500 to 700 million, you do not actually qualify to start a conversation around winning an election. But if you want to be part of the election process, it is okay, just with nomination fees. But of course, there are places you're not going to campaign in twice. They will not even allow you to step back there, because the last time you were there, you didn't leave them with anything. However much you had as many brilliant ideas as possible. Now I was seated here imagining Wycliffe's story. Every time he went to a campaign rally, people clapped. I think Wycliffe saw a lot of votes.
He thought he was winning.
Man could say, hey, you have them, because they could dance.
Yeah, because he had a following. It was testimony.
Yes, and that's what I always tell young people. You see, at the end of the day, elections are numbers. The number of people that actually go onto that basin and take your name. But also it is about the person that actually counts and declares the election. So whereas as young people we are going into mainstream elections, which we should actually do, we should just understand the dynamics of mainstream politics and maybe prepare to counteract those dynamics.
When you talk about the numbers, in Bushenyi, voters were giving the candidate money themselves. But when it came to ticking, they did not tick the candidate.
Yeah, you remember when Dr. Kano Kizza Besigye got a lot of gifts along the way as he campaigned?
Yes.
Now, the issue is, where are those voters that
And
gave
I was
him...
among them because I could get a lot of money, bananas,
Yeah, because they appreciate your ideas. But at the end of the day, how do you leave them? And that's the mindset we really have to deal with. In my
Interesting.
And
opinion.
someone puts a paper. When he brings a gift, the pineapple puts a paper. This is my number. Send on my mobile. Yes, write him on the paper.
So they give you a pineapple,
Expecting a
expecting
cow.
you to react.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes, in my
Interesting.
where I come from, actually a politician reached an extent of giving constituency cards. So every constituent, every voter of theirs had a card that they would use to access service after elections.
Wow. Okay, so we are live on U24 television on TikTok. We are live on U24 television on YouTube. And we are also live on our WhatsApp number that is right there on the screen. We do have some of your comments from WhatsApp, and I'll be able to read some of them. At the end of the day, we just want transparency and equal opportunities, no favoritism. Uganda is for us all. This is Priscilla Namata in Iganga. Thank you so much, Priscilla, for joining and following our conversation. Big up for hosting balanced discussions like this. But Wycliffe, as a former aspirant for Buhweju West, what lessons did you personally learn from the elections that can help youth next time? This is Kevin Odongo, all the way from Nira. Thank you so much, Kevin. Rural youth feel left out most times, and development always starts at the end of the cities. This is Masi Chebet here in Kapchora saying, we matter too. Thank you so much, all the way from Kapchora. Agriculture has potential, but youth set it as suffering because support is minimal. Subsidies ziliwa. This is Daniel Biarhanga, all the way from Kabale. Thank you so much, Daniel. We do have Hassan Uluvega from Malua, who says civic education must continue even now. Some youth vote based on vibes, not information. Let's change the narrative. Hassan Uluvega, Alua. Thank you so much. And youth groups can help monitor government projects on ground, give us the mandate, and see results. This is Faith Nanyonjo here in Wakiso. Thank you so much, Faith. And I'll read the last comment for now. Elections bring too much tension on social media, insults everywhere. Can we now focus on development? And this is Aisha Nabirie, all the way from Ginger. Thank you so much to our online audience for joining and sharing your information with us. Let me get to Hafashimana again. And Hafashimana, what lessons do we draw from all this? And what do we expect, particularly from the leaders that we've put in office? And starting with you as a youth chairperson, you know, we keep telling others what we expect from them. But even you as a Fashimana, as a leader that has been entrusted by the young people all the way in Kisoro, what expectations should they have in you? And all that you promise, do you think there is a likelihood that you'll be able to achieve a certain percentage or even a larger percentage?
You are very excited.
I want to first correct Wycliffe for that I was not excited. But for the fact I was calculative, because youth politics, I am not a newcomer, and that should be put on record. I participated a little bit in the 2016 youth politics.
Yes.
I remember at the time the Honorable Mwinipaka passing through my town council of Nyakabande, by then Nyakabande sub-county, in that trading center. And I got to know, oh, Kumbe, there is a youth MP at the parliament. So 2019, I started meeting a few colleagues. And I remember the time when I was the chairman of school council at Cornerstone Leadership Academy, Katoporo came to visit us. The council at the time wrote a letter to the Makere leadership to come to talk to the leaders at Cornerstone. So when Katoporo came, Katoporo today is the senior personal assistant to the deputy speaker, right, Honorable Thomas Tayebwa. So that's how I came to meet him. So by 2020, when the youth politics came through, I was already prepared on what would come through. And to cut the long story short, especially on that very phase, people's expectation from the leaders today, and you highlighted giving myself as an example. Number one, time for politicking is done. It is time for service delivery. And I also want to be quoted rightly that even in the face of impossibilities, a focused group of people can change the narrative in society. For the fact, those words were not by myself. They are the words of Bishop Desmond Tutu of South Africa. And he mentioned those words when he was in the fight against apartheid policy, I think around 1950s there. And whereas we believe that people promised a lot, it is time for the voters to demand for accountability and track record. It is also not time for rallies. It is time for policy formulation. I have been debating with a few colleague youth chairpersons, and for the fact by yesterday we had a council of chairpersons trying to panel beat on what lies beyond just politicking, what comes after the 5 years. And we have an idea of beginning a circle. And the contestation is whether we should go chairpersons, council of chairpersons, or general National Youth Council circle. So we are still trying to figure out what works for everyone. And by the end of the day, we shall definitely how to see or design a formula on how we should be able to deliver, because we need an organized National Youth Council of leaders. But also in my district where I come from, 2 weeks ago I was at Kisoro, and we had initially begun to agree to save the money. Now I'm trying to give you a feedback of what we are doing so far. So we have begun service delivery. So we have already started saving, and our time is for 5 years. And beyond 5 years, we shall agree to continue to proceed with what we shall have achieved before. And the idea is being bought by many chairpersons so far. Like you're aware, we are on 46 chairpersons of the Youth Council, and each one of them is taking upon themselves to go ahead and ask their district youth leaders to begin, but also inculcate the same as far as delivery is concerned. But also, when you look at programs like the Capital Youth Venture Fund, programs like Myoga, programs like the PDM, programs like Youth Livelihood Program. The previous time I was here, I talked about the YLP funds, and I also want to say that beyond YLP, beyond the National Youth Council budget, we should demand for a policy that ensures or that asks government to allocate money, funds, for specifically the National Youth Council. Not the budget, but for the youth. For example, you could recall that the HESFEB we have today, HESFEB is the Higher Education Students Financing Board. It was begun in 2014.
Actually, it is now the Higher Education Students Financing Secretariat. It is no longer a body on its own.
I didn't know that it was even a secretariat.
It is now under Ministry of
But
Education.
today's board, today's secretary that was then a board, it was begun by the youth leaders of the time. Because initially there was UPE. That now I'm trying to say, but also ask our youth leaders today in the National Youth Council, or even those that really would influence policy formulation, that there are things that we need to begin on board. And whereas there was UPE by 1997, there was an idea of the youth leaders of the time to ensure that we have another policy that could allow those that are done with P7 to proceed to Senior 4, Senior 1, Senior 4, like that. That's how you see USE came on board. So beyond that, person would finish and they could not get money to go to campus, to university. That is how government merit came on board. So beyond that, there are some people who could not afford to go on government merit, but they could also be better and also apply for our own scheme. Now that's how HESFEB comes on board. So if that is around 14 years ago or 20 years ago, what is that critical thing that the National Youth Council of today can do exceptionally from what others have been doing? And we think having a National Youth Council enterprise or a fund or something of the sort, whereby there is money by policy, that on every time the Minister of Finance is, presenting the budget, then there is something captured specifically for the youth. Not the budget, but something to be there, so that when you need money, you can easily tap into that one. And therefore, we believe the Youth Council of now can champion some of those things. But also, when I was participating at the National Youth Council, you are aware I dared to contest for labor affairs. And my reasons were, one, I only had one reason. That in case they are voting ideas or they are voting credibility, then they will choose Hafashimana. Then in case they are voting otherwise, I hear there are things to do with the highest bidder. People who have been in this contestation, they are aware. You could reach into a caucus of a sub-region and they are demanding things you don't have. And I used to be very open to them, like you might have heard from other people. Me, I would say, guys, I'm like you. You either choose me or you choose otherwise. So at the end of the day, people made a decision, and I don't blame them. I've also been telling them that for whatever happens, and it is not happening according to your interest for the 5 years, don't make haram. Because it is that selected the leaders. In fact, it's the aristocrats that say that every society has the leaders they deserve. Do you know why? It is because they are those members of the society that select that leadership. So recently we were in Hoima, we've selected for leaders. I don't want to comment a lot about that election, but don't blame anybody. Because it's you that voted for what? Now that's how democracy comes in play. That whereas one got 216 and one got 198, what about the interest of the 198 people? So can these two people inculcate the ideas and work together as a team?
Okay, let me get to you, Wycliffe, and if you could do it in less than 3 minutes.
Maybe before Wycliffe, how did you guys have to have both candidates announced winners in Hoima? Maybe that's the story for
I don't know why you got that news, but
it was one announced, but I think it was online. It was on, you know, online has played a very critical role, but it was one candidate.
But anyway, I don't know how we got to know. Yet
today, I don't know who was announced winner.
And for us on the ground, you know one person. So your source of information lacks credibility.
I think that is the challenge we have with the information online, because online spreads as fast as you can tell, and if we don't censor and know what is the truth, sometimes you could end up misguided. But let me get to you, Wycliffe, and if you could use less than 3 minutes. Afashimana gives a point of view from a district chairperson currently.
Sure.
And Nyanjura's letter on Twitter, message on Twitter, talks to thousands that ran an election and did not win. What are expectations? What expectations should we hope from you now that you did not go through in an election? Is it, or do we expect that there's going to be still some contribution that one Honorable Wycliffe, a former aspirant for Buweji West, is going to be able to put on board?
Thank you, Madam Tracy. I want first to respond to my brother Odong. He asked the question and he was like, you went, what did you learn and what can you tell us?
Please, if you could keep it short, time is really running.
You see, Napoleon Bonaparte quoted and said, a state without a religion is like a vessel without compass. Before you go for this race, first pray. Because at the end of the day, you can collapse from the field. Number 2,
I
teamwork.
thought he wanted to say first place that you win.
No, you see, second, teamwork. As my brother Hafashimana said, when you are dealing with elections, especially in mainstream, you must know the people you are playing with. As you see these games, Arsenal United, where they have a defender, a striker, so you should also have a teamwork. Then you should also have some fans, because people want water. That one I've stopped on it. When I come back to what you've asked, I can surely tell you that I'm the publicity secretary for Buweji Youth League. And I won, and I think my competitor, he ran away on a day of voting because he knew that I could do something to him.
Does that justify that youth are more likely to make it in youth
is that for us who failed, we have other leadership positions we are holding. But what I can tell my brothers and my sisters who didn't make it, we still have these ideas alive. Number 2, what we are in is not for a short run. We are having something we are chasing. It is not tomorrow, it is not today, it can be after 2 years, it can be after 5 years. What we have to do is to know ourselves, and we make these ideas alive. We can even do other things better, whereby, as he has said, it is a time of policy making. Where can we advise? If it comes to civic education, as he has been saying, what have we done? Not saying that for me, I will always come for the time when these people are going to hold the elections. No, go to the schools, go to the churches. If we have NGOs, for me, I'm more attached to NGOs. You should go and tell these people what they have to do. If it's social media, what are you texting as the youth? So to me, I think the youth still have a big role to play. And if not only the youth, even these leaders who got defeated, and by the way, it can become a lesson. You use the failure. Now, these people who have entrusted, some of them are going to go and sleep. What will you be doing? Set up something. Bring something on board, on ground. Do you have a project which is supporting these people? So to me, I think we still have a long journey to move, and our ideas are still alive. As he has said, if you have the capacity to work with someone who got the power, do. But if he fails, we are coming back. But when he does it well, I don't come back.
You
That's
are in
my
the
stand.
pipeline. You're in the
Yes.
pipeline.
And they say they are thinking about me actually. Because what they requested me to do, I'm sorting them. By the time when we go back, I will be fully packaged. Thank you so
Let
much.
me get to you, Augustine, and if you could use less than 2 minutes, so that I have 1 minute for you to wind up, all of you. What are expectations from the people that you supported, basically, to join these structures and be part?
Yeah, first of all, for the people that I actually did support to join, one, the youth structures, but also the mainstream, I expect them to work with, one, confidence, because majority of them that won actually won on merit. I expect them to remember the foundation.
Yes.
I wouldn't want them to have a situation where you're in leadership for a short time, and after that you cannot be a leader anymore because you've not inspired anybody to actually follow you through where you're going. So I expect them to love what they do. I expect them to work for the cause that we promised young people, especially. You know, my district has, I think the youngest MP by age will be from my district is about 26.
What is your district?
And I'm from Tororo, and we have the youngest MP there.
I was going to be the youngest.
I think he's younger than the youth MPs themselves.
But I think there is a
But
youth
we
MP
have,
who is
we
younger
have
than
Maseruka
that.
who's 25.
I don't really want to debate the age of those youth
But
MPs
for
for
now,
very
I was
many
24,
reasons.
so I got
For very many reasons, I don't want to debate the age of youth MPs. Especially, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
Exactly. So, but also, I think I want to let them know that it's not going to be easy because you're dealing with a system that is broken. We have a mixture of those that won and those that were announced, those that were given DR forms to become leaders. And so in that kind of situation of leadership, it becomes very easy for you who is going to lead on merit. I would request that everybody that won on merit still stick to your principles, stick to your values, and don't sell your soul to people, because money is there to buy everybody that wants to be bought. And as you go out there to serve, especially the young people, go and participate in the leadership and don't be participated. Thank you.
Interesting. Participate in the leadership, don't be participated.
Yeah.
Hafashimana, your parting shots. Please, if you can keep it less than a minute.
I will, in fact, keep it less than around half a minute.
Interesting.
But I will say that the political activism should change into a long-term impact. But also, going ahead, I want to also assert that beyond politicking and building personalities, let us harness leadership skills. Because for the leader that knows the way, shows the way, and goes the way, definitely will change the society. And lastly, I want to believe in the same spirit like the comrade panelists that whereas the campaigning time has been concluded, whereas each one of us voted for the leaders that we thought would represent our interests, and most of them won, others didn't win.
Yes.
How do you combine a thinking pot to deliver for the society? Let us avoid being egocentric, but demonstrate humility for the greater good of the communities. Let us benchmark with the policymakers, the MPs, wherever they are. But also I want to ask them to remain humble. Let them also exhibit humility. That's the best way they will be able to interrelate with the society. And then to the civil society organizations, dialogue is very key to champion it, but also those that can influence having the elders mix up with the young to have the intergenerational dialogue conversations to discuss things that can occur for the society, the better. For dialogue is where every solution is resolved. For the fact, I have been told in the army, a war is begun at the round table discussion and it is ended at the round table discussion. So it is the same place for the same cause, for the same solution. Asanteni sana.
Thank you, thank you. Let me get you quickly for your parting shots in the conversation.
Thank you, my sister and my fellow panelists. I want to say thank you for the people who've been listening to us, viewing us live. But I also want to appreciate youth who participated in elective positions, and people who voted us, who campaigned for us, and who came back and they are still alive. But what we must get to know is we still have a long journey to move. If you see a friend is sliding back, make sure that you touch a hand, because you need this person in 2 years, in 5 years. As he said, when we went home, one got a win and another one didn't get a win. But now we are in another world. Let's work together and we see that our ideas don't die. Number two, there is something in classical political theory whereby they say leaders should get the information and what to present from us. And we have seen this dilemma whereby leaders go and they represent themselves and their families. No. My leader, for example, let me say Buhweju West, before you give even information in parliament, come and ask us the stakeholders, because we are the people who entrusted you, because we are the people who knows the challenges of our societies. And to me, I think when you do engage the society and the stakeholders, it's when we are going to get right solutions to the challenges. I will just put a small example. I had a story long time ago that there was a leader who went with something. It was an NGO. It took water to the people of a certain region, which I don't want to talk here. And people said, for us, our challenge is not water. That's the same story. So our leaders should first ask our people, what do you want? Then they bring the solutions of the challenges of our people. Otherwise, thank you. Asanteni sana.
Thank you so much. Augustine, in less than a minute.
Wow. Very interesting. I have to sum my discussion in a minute. But
You are the final man.
Man from Toronto.
well, before I give my party,
of Tango Doi.
The youngest MP.
Our chairperson of Youth League. Reggae.
and anyhow, I hope that is not part of my parting shot. The two raised two critical issues on leadership training. My organization that I lead, with a team of other young people, actually offers career mentorship to young people that are especially transitioning from one level to another. So we'd be glad to offer support. He raises critical issue again that is affecting our community about young girls that are actually having also young girls that they are taking care of as their children. In one of the spaces that I work, we actually give second chance education to such young girls, and it would be important if they are there and you would like, some of them of course sometimes stopped in P5, some in senior one. Young people, men impregnated them and then dropped them and they're struggling. So we can be part of the solution to young people affected by teenage pregnancies by giving them second chance to education. Otherwise, by and large, I want to appreciate the young people that took very difficult times to contest in the different positions. If you did not win, you were just going through a phase of growth and a phase of development. If you won, kindly represent our values very well. And like the proverb says, if you're leading and no one is following you, you're basically walking. So as you go out there to lead, find out whether people are actually following you or you're walking through a journey to nowhere. And that's the easiest test that you will have to actually discover whether you're leading people or walking with people along alongside you. So by and large, I want to appreciate our wonderful audience and you are a wonderful moderator for this evening. And thank you and see you next time.
Thank you so much. It's been an amazing conversation having two of you for the very first time, and Fashimana, who has been here before. We want to thank our audience that has made this possible, because we know if you're not following us, then we would be walking, not actually. You said not walking alone. Yep. And we've been having Fashimana Asimwe, who is the district youth chairperson of Kisoro District under the National Youth Council. We've been having Wycliffe has or is a former member of parliament contestant all the way from Buhweju West. And we've been having Augustine Cheslin, who is a youth leader passionate about mentorship and good governance. Of course, it's been me, Cheslin Ankonda, hosting this conversation. We want to thank the team that makes this possible, and also to pray and hope that life gets better after elections. Please do not continue to stress candidates or people that you voted. Allow them time and grace to first relax and then get to office and work. Thank you so much. Wish you all the best right here at U24 Television. See you next Wednesday, same place, same time.
Youth of Purpose. Youth of Purpose. Youth of Purpose.